The Tibetan Plateau constitutes 1/4 of China's landmass. Its vast and diverse landscape averages 4,500 meters above sea level. The plateau is the stomping ground of the China Exploration and Research Society, where in 1985, Wang Haoman discovered the source of the Yangtze River. Just 1 year later, Haoman set up CERS. And thus it was appropriate that for the first leg of this special anniversary expedition, Haoman would return to the region and seek another source.
We're going to be heading for the source of the Salween River. This will be the 4th great river sources that we are seeking after the Yangtze, the Mekong, and the Yellow River. This expedition also marked the 25th anniversary of CERS founding in 1986.
The expedition starts from Dunhuang, from the comfort of the Silk Road Hotel. The location and luxury of the hotel are of stark contrast to what the team will have to endure.
Today, the 10th of June, we're right now in Dunhuang along the Silk Road and the Gobi Desert. And within today, we're going to be moving high up into the plateau and heading for the source of the Salween River. So it's quite exciting that behind me we have a very large team and with scientists, logistic people and filming people, so all as part of the members of this particular expedition. Before getting late, okay? So let's get moving and let's roll out.
The journey to the Salween base camp should take them about 4 days, traveling over 1,000 kilometers across the Kunlun mountain range to the plateau. First, they stop at Golmwood, picking up good friend Zado and using maps prepared by Will Rusick to determine the best route forward.
Tomorrow, as soon as we leave here, we start climbing towards the Kunlun passes, around 4,700 meters. There's 2 routes that we can come in through here to the source, or after you cross here and coming in through this way.
With 5 vehicles in their convoy, one of the largest out-of-pocket expenses is fuel, compounded by the fact that the team have to fill up extra cans for when they venture off-road.
Just gassing up 5 cars in diesel was over 6,000 RMB, so roughly almost 900 US. So, you know, this is hurting our wallet quite a bit in one shot.
As Haoman recovers from his hefty fuel bill, the team set up camp. From here on, the team has to maintain a high level of self-sufficiency. And it will be down to their own resilience to get them to the source. The location of the Salween source may be documented scientifically, but it's still very hard to physically get to. There are no road signs, and local knowledge is sketchy. Thus, Haoman and his navigator, Will Rusick, need to consult as many sources as possible so that they can choose the most accurate route forward.
Well, he's saying that further down, there's another road that may come in like this. And if we follow this, we have to cross somewhere here to this river.
Will has all his satellite maps stored on an iPad and navigates via GPS using the latest technology to ensure the team achieves its objectives. Armed with local knowledge, they can plot their route to base camp with confidence.
Yeah, and I'll let you know that it's once we get to there, if it stays on track, then it should be the right route.
There's no highway to the source, so the team have to make their own road, off-road.
The first road follows a small little stream upwards, kind of where you are right now.
They cross the Salween River, but their route leads them to an inevitable complication: mud.
那些路呢，基本上就是以前老乡压过一点点的路，然后我们这个车上去。但是如果说稍微错开一点点，那么就很容易陷车。
跟进去以后呢，就要靠 我们大家一起了，把这个车给用那个千斤顶啊，或者用拖车的方法把它拖出来。因为在昨天下午实在就是说大家可能一开始状况都不是太好，因为高山反应特别严重嘛，所以说挖那个车可能也很费力。
Struggling to get here was quite an ordeal. The terrain was simply overwhelming.
After extracting vehicles from the mud for over 6 hours, the team settles in for a well-earned rest. The next morning, they are greeted by a beautiful day, and it feels like the team is within arm's reach of the source.
At the straight line now, we're only 12 kilometers from the source. But going there probably is talking about more like 17 kilometers.
Unfortunately for many of the crew, yesterday's ordeal has left them too unwell to enjoy the beautiful scenery.
We still have a few people sick right now. I wasn't feeling well at all. This morning I'm feeling much better. Taking in those AirSep, the oxygen concentrator, it helped me a lot. So actually it isn't easy work despite the scenery was spectacular.
And even Zado is feeling the effects of altitude.
So he's not feeling well at all. Now, he's born and raised in the Tibetan Plateau. He's never had it this bad. So let's hope that in another half hour he would feel better with this. If not, then we'll administer a little bit of oxygen.
With perfect timing, a nomad family visits the camp, giving the team the opportunity to question them about the local wildlife. Using CERS's unique picture playing cards.
The local people talk about wildlife, many species that used to be here, which we haven't seen. Older people talk about wild yak, and we've even seen wild yak horns, but no wild yak. So that's a disappointment. But it's an honor to come up to a place that has still so much wildlife.
With the survey finished, it was now time to talk business and negotiate horses for the trip to the source. Once the agreement was made, all that was left was for the crew to have a good night's sleep and to pray for fair weather the following day. As the sun broke over the hills, it seemed as if their luck was in. The horses soon arrived, and without delay, the team was off to the source of the Salween River.
The Salween is a glacier source. It's known that that glacier is in retreat, as are almost all of the glaciers in this eastern Changtang region. Of course, these rivers are fed by many, many tributaries, but the source gives us an example of what's happening at the sources of all the tributaries. And when you sum all that together, you get major impacts that are going to be felt all across the region downstream.
当然了，从这里你看，怒江源头是冰川雪山融化的，所以整个那个唐古拉山脉的这个雪线和雪山的这个冰川的面积和它的变化，对当地的草原和对整个下游地区是特别重要的一个。
Very few people have the chance to come to such a remote place, but they should be concerned about what's going on here.
After a tiring 6-hour horse ride, the team finally reached their destination.
Certainly can't cheat on age. No longer like before. A beautiful glacier. Now, we left on horseback from base camp this morning at 10 to 8. And Bill, would you care to fill in the coordinates now?
So we're at north 32 degrees, 43 minutes, 06.5 seconds. East 92 degrees, 13 minutes, 45.1 seconds. And the elevation is 5,374.
Having conquered another source, Hao Man pops a champagne bottle in victory. But with the weather closing in, the team doesn't stay around for long because they have another 2 weeks of expedition ahead of them. Another 2 weeks in which the weather will play a deciding role in the expedition's success or failure.